UFC 310 just wrapped up, man. Chiesa gets submitted by Alexandre Pantoja in the second round. Shavkat Rakhmonov beats Ian Garry to a 48-47 decision. Bilal smokes them both, but showed some holes. But today, man, I'm gonna recap my bets and recap the whole card. A lot of controversial decisions. I'll also be making a Discord where I can give out my plays because I did live bet some plays in my live stream, but I'm still not charging for any bets or anything like that, of course. But anyways, man, let's get right into it. Bet recap first. Evloev money line as well as Reyes versus Smith over. We did pretty good on that one and got the win there. I'm gonna be showing my wins first. Luque money line or Luque sub. This was the big one, man, because it wasn't looking that good early on, but Luque came out there. Like I said, man, the skills on Vicente Luque so good. Comes out there, knocks Themba down and gets the submission. Huge win and got me back on track for this card. And I was able to cook up this next parlay, which was Gane KO or points. Look, I'll talk about that fight. Maybe a little bailout there. But and as well as Garry Rakhmonov over 3.5. I actually did hedge this where I put Rakhmonov round 2 and round 3 finish. So I hedged that with this. This one ended up hitting, which was paid out a lot more than the other ones did. So I took a little bit of a risk, hit that one as well. But the ones I lost. Randy Brown, money line. The graphics kind of cut off. I apologize. Painful, okay? I'll talk more about that one, obviously, when I recap the rest of the fights. But a painful one. In my eyes, I should have hit it. But it is what it is. Next one. Durden, not to go the distance, minus 140. A favorite bet, and I was really confident in this bet. And, another fight, it kind of could have hit. You know what I mean? It was right on the bridge of getting that, but it is what it is. Not complaining. Anyways, man, let's wrap up this card. Kennedy Nzechukwu knocks out Lukasz Brzeski. Look, man, Kennedy has come up and shown the levels. He's proven himself as a pretty solid heavyweight. The wins aren't that great. Lukasz Brzeski is a fighter who, to me, is going to be outside of the UFC. He's not, going to be here anymore. And he was exchanging and looked a little bit better than I thought he'd look. Kennedy lands a nasty, nasty right hook and sits him down and puts him out. Great win for Kennedy Nzechukwu. We'll see what's next. He's been extremely active, and he's looked great at heavyweight. Fast hands, great combinations, and definitely a guy we might be seeing in the top 15. He probably goes out there and beats a guy, like Shamil Gaziev, probably kills him. You know what I mean? But he's looking good up there, man. I think he'll have a lot of success there, and I'm excited to see what he can do. Next up is going to be Clay Guida and Chase Hooper. Chase Hooper submits Clay Guida pretty easily. What else is there to say about this fight? Chase Hooper, people have been hyping him up like crazy. He's an okay fighter. There's a lot of guys I'd pick to beat him. I'd even pick a guy like Jim Miller to beat him. You know what I mean? Manuel Torres is around that area of Chase Hooper. Knocks him out in the first round. You know what I mean? No offense to Chase Hooper. He's still really young, 25. He's got a lot of time. I think he should take some lower level fights, keep improving on his skill set. But he's dangerous on the ground. He looked a little bit better on the feet, but it's Clay Guida, for God's sakes. Come on, let's relax a little bit. I'm going through these a little bit quick because I have some more to, some ones I need to talk about a little bit longer than the others. You know what I mean? So, not really going to spend too much time on this fight. Not the best. Next up. Chiesa versus Max Griffin, and Chiesa dominated Max Griffin. I really didn't expect this, and I did pick Max Griffin. I thought he wasn't aggressive, and Chiesa came out and fought and won. And when I look at Michael Chiesa, I thought he looks horrible. And you look at a guy like Max Griffin going out there and competing with a prospect. I mean, he didn't win the fight, but he competed with Michael Morales, right? And he's competed with Jeremiah, beat Jeremiah Wells. I don't think he won that fight, but I guess the competition he's been facing is a little bit better in my opinion. Not the wins, right? Because Michael Chiesa lost to Sean Brady, he lost to Kevin Holland, he beats Tony Ferguson. You kind of look at that. And Griffin, I thought, get the boxing going. He looked very, very slow, very, very old. And Chiesa just looked a little bit younger. But a fight I ended up getting wrong. A little upset about it, and it is what it is, man. Not my best predictions card, but a very profitable night betting for me. But it is what it is. I'll turn around Tampa. I'm sure it'll be a good one for me. Now this one, Cody Durden, Joshua Van. I told you guys I had the fight not to go the distance. I missed that one, and I was a little worried that how this night would go because I also did pick Cody Durden. He got fucking smoked, okay? Joshua Van absolutely smoked him. You see by the numbers here. I mean, I even think you could have given the first round to Joshua Van if you wanted to, but Durden gassed out a lot faster than I expected, okay? I'd seen him gas out later on in the third round, and Van was very close to finishing this fight, and I don't hate the bet that I took on this fight not to go the distance. Van was close to finishing it, and he looked damn good. I'll tell you that. Didn't take a lot of damage like he usually does. I'd still, why rush it? You know what I mean? Just take a little bit of a break, come back. Why doesn't Joshua Van take a little break? He comes back maybe September, okay? You just go spend some time with your family. You need to recover a little bit. He didn't take a lot of damage here. I still don't want him to fight that much. He's 23. So much time left in his career. I don't want to see it get wasted when he's not, I don't want to say not fully developed as a fighter, but he can still add so much more to his game. You know what I mean? And I'm really liking Joshua Van. I really do like his game, and I hope he takes the necessary time off to build more on his skill set, which is already fantastic. But I don't want to see him get older and just beat up and his durability's gone. You know what I mean? I don't know if that's you guys understand that, but that where I'm coming from there, I don't want to see him waste his young years getting beat up so bad and having wars, and then he gets later on and he hasn't really developed as a fighter because he's been fighting too much. So that's kind of what I think about Joshua Van. He's got a great skill set, insane cardio. His takedown defense looked really good. Aside from getting taken down by Durden, nothing happened, right? Durden had him on the ground. Nothing happened. Van was not taking shots. He easily got up pretty much every time and beat the hell out of Cody Durden. I'm surprised Durden toughed it out. I know Cody Durden has a lot of heart, and I knew that coming in, but I thought Van would be able to get the finish. He didn't end up getting it, but I did pick Durden to win. He got the loss. A very good win for Joshua Van, and I was, off to a bad start here. I didn't do the best on this card, but 2-2 ain't good, all right? And especially when your 2 wins are guys that were over minus 500. So, next up. Very weird fight. Eryk Anders TKO's Chris Weidman, and I know Chris Weidman kind of protested the stoppage, but it was very fair stoppage. Chris Weidman, after the first round, he just looked exhausted, and he ended up hurting Eryk Anders with a little check hook, and Anders comes back, takes him down, and beats his ass on the ground, and, I don't know. I didn't get to look at Twitter. If you thought that was an early stoppage, man, I'd suggest you watch the sport a little bit more because, Weidman, he wasn't defending himself. He was just eating shots. And, yes, he was kind of defending the shots. He wasn't moving, though. That's kind of what I wanted to get to. And Anders was just pounding on him. Pause. But a good win for Eryk Anders. I felt like he was going to be the more physical guy, the guy with better cardio as well, and that's why I did pick him. Because I do think when it comes to the skill set, Weidman is better. He's crisper with the technique, boxing, as well as the wrestling, but Anders is big, and he looked damn big in that octagon, man. He looked huge. I mean, he looked like the Hulk, and he comes out there and gets that win. Pretty good win, but a nice win to get me back on track. If you look at these numbers, and you tell me this is bullshit, all right? Randy Brown loses the Bryan battle split decision, okay? Now, look, it was a close fight, I will say that, but my heart tells me that Randy Brown won that fight. And I know I bet on Randy Brown. I picked him to win, but I don't know if it's biasness, and I don't know if I'm coping. I thought he won the fight personally, okay? And I know people in my chat were saying going either way, it was Randy or battle, and I thought Randy won, first round easily, definitively Randy Brown, okay? Second round was Bryan battle. It comes down to the third round. Not much went on. I believe Randy Brown got a takedown, if I want to say, in the third round. He might have got a takedown. You see the numbers, man. Please do not look at this, okay? If you watch that fight, Randy Brown, when it got to range, landed the better shots, landed combinations to the body, landed to the head in that one exchange, possibly hurt Bryan battle a little bit, and battle took him to the clinch, and it's on Randy Brown for sure to get out of that clinch. And could be due to the weight miss. Battle was a little bit bigger, but Battle was not doing anything in that clinch. And like I said, if I remember right, I do think that Randy Brown ended up taking Battle down in that third round as well, on top of landing that big combination in the middle of the round. And you go to the clinch and there's nothing going on. I was very, very upset with this. because I did think at the time Brown won very easily, honestly. I thought he won easily, and I thought it was not even going to be a split decision, honestly, but kind of reminds me of a similar situation, Aldo and Bautista a little bit. I still think Brown won it more definitively than Aldo did, honestly. But look, man, it is what it is. Personally, I'm upset because Randy Brown was plus 190, and I got him at that price, or plus 180, and he, took it to a split decision where I thought he won. But it is what it is, man. I would take that bet every time. If I'm picking a plus 190 guy and he's going to a split decision, I'm very, very happy with that. So obviously I would have, liked to make the money off of it because I did put a lot. But I did think Randy Brown won that fight. And y'all let me know what you think, because personally, I did think he won. Next up, Evloev versus Sterling. Should have been on the main card, all right? And I knew this coming in. It wasn't going to be a boring fight, okay? Very, very good fight. You saw both these guys push the pace, all right? Push the pace, insane grappling exchanges, and Evloev is a fantastic grappler. Aljo won the first, and the second and third went to Evloev, in my opinion. Very, very good fight. Very fun fight. And it sucks because, there was one fight on that card, on the main card, that shouldn't have been there. But Evloev, he's a guy who I think can cause problems for Topuria. Probably the most problems in that division. If you think Diego Lopez causes problems for Topuria, I'd probably call you a casual. Because if you look at that matchup, it's very one-sided, all right? But Evloev is a guy who can offensively wrestle against Topuria and possibly put him on his back. And he's got decent boxing. He's actually got pretty good striking defense if he can neutralize some of that offense from Topuria's boxing. But, man, this was a good fight. Sterling showed up game. You know what I mean? It was a close fight. I do think, like I said, Evloev won second and third. But Sterling showed up, and he was still very, very game. He had almost, I think he had his Evloev's back in the first round and put that pressure on him. His entries on his takedowns were looking good. And a very, very good fight for Aljo. I thought he looked fantastic. He did better than I expected for sure. But the right decision in Evloev, and he is a very talented fighter, very talented, you know what I mean? Some of those wrestling exchanges where he exchanged was beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, man, good win for Movsar Evloev and a great fight, great fight. I was so happy to see this, guys. Oh my goodness, man. Vicente Luque knocks down Themba and wraps up a choke, and I probably have to go look back at my reaction. Might have been a little bit corny, but bro, I was so lit, man, because I just, there was so much talking about Luque and Themba, and, Luque's washed and this and that, and I understood what the narrative was, but this is another kind of aspect that I do to when I watch film on fights, and it's different, because I don't really look at statistics that much, occasionally, but not often. I look at social media, I look at fighters, press conference, or when they're talking to media, or Instagram posts, anything like that. That's what kind of gets me confidence in people, okay? And I see Luque talking about how confident he is, and saying how he's going to come back, he's going to look much better, and that's why I ended up picking him ultimately. Obviously, the guy skill for skill can compete with anybody, man. Luque's got heavy power, he's got great boxing, he's a little bit slower, great grappling, great submission game, and he showed that, man. Landed a nasty, I believe it was a left hook, I want to say. It might have been a right hook, I don't remember exactly, but sits Themba down and immediately goes that anaconda choke and chokes him out. Huge win for me personally. I was a little bit down, and Luque comes out and does that. Made me some money, a lot, and definitely helped me profit. Made me profit on this card, for sure. So I'm very grateful that Luque got it done. I got my pick right. He might have been the only underdog to win on this card, aside from Alexandre Volkov, but I'll talk about that as well. I might have to censor some of the things that I might say about Ciryl Gane. But anyways, very good win for Luque. I'm excited to see what he's got next because he looked damn good for the time being, man, And that's only going to boost his confidence, getting a win like that over a guy like Themba who's not good. Personally, I don't think so. But finishing him in that kind of fashion, a guy on a big win streak, 3 or 4 fight win streak, and finishing him in the first round, dropping him and choking them out. Great win from Luque, and he wrapped it up quick, man. I was really, really excited. I'm excited to see what he's got, man. Great fight, great win for Luque. Dominick Reyes versus Anthony Smith. I almost forgot this fight was on the card, man. It was just a weird one, Anthony Smith, I believe he's going to retire. I would be all on the train for that. Anthony Smith is a legend. He's he's a legend of the game, and sucks to see him go. And I do feel bad about his coach situation. It sucks, but Reyes comes out there. I can't even take this fight for real, bro. Look at the striking numbers. 172 to 24 is insane. But look, man, not much to take away from this fight. I think it was really Smith just did not look like himself, I guess. I mean, usually he's just sitting at range. This time he was coming forward a lot. So my 1.5 over, I was sweating it out a little bit. But good win for Reyes. There's not much to take away from this fight, honestly, because I do think Smith was so messed up from his, partner, coach dying or whatever it was. And, we'll see what's next for Reyes. He did look good. He still looks fast. He's still elusive. His check hook looked good. His takedown defense on point like always. And I'm excited to see what Dom can do, man. The Devastator, one of my favorite light heavyweights of all time, man. Great fighter. And we'll see what he's got next. And I love the 2-fight win streak from him, man. I love it. Next up, Nate Landwehr versus Doo Ho Choi. And Doo Ho Choi shut Nate Landwehr out and beat the dog shit out of him, man. And I picked Nate Landwehr. Oh, Doo Ho Choi was another underdog as well. I forgot about that. I was on Doo Ho Choi for my early pick, and I went back and watched film, and I ultimately picked Nate Landwehr to win the fight. He got smoked in every aspect of the game. He got absolutely smoked. Okay, striking got killed, grappling got killed, and Doo Ho Choi. While I think there's so many people at featherweight that deserve a ranking more than Doo Ho Choi. In my opinion, there's so many guys you can go look that are on big win streaks, finish streaks. I think a good fight for Doo Ho Choi. I want to see someone like Morgan Charrier. Let me know what y'all think about that. I just cooked that in my mind. Morgan Charrier, Doo Ho Choi, sick ass fight. But anyways, he looked good as hell, man. Fast combinations, nasty calf kicking. The wrestling, grappling was on point, and I knew that coming in. I didn't think he'd offensively wrestle as much as he did, and I thought it was smart for him to do that because Nate was starting to get a little wild out there and throwing a lot of shots and a lot of hard shots, but a very good win. Choi looked great, man. Nothing else to take away from this fight besides the performance that Doo Ho Choi put on, man. He's a guy who I knew, coming into this fight, he was the better, more polished guy, but I thought Nate Landwehr's way was going to get to Doo Ho Choi, and it did not at all. He neutralized that shit and beat the hell out of him. Very, very good performance. I mean, absolute shutout. Next up, Kron Gracie versus Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell, power bombed him and, framed his elbow and put him out with that. I mean, in the third round, Kron Gracie, this fight should never have been made, first of all. You got, like I already said with featherweight, you got killers all outside the rankings that deserve, an opportunity, unlike this little bum right here, bro. He deserves no opportunities to get ranked, you know what I mean? And he showed it. I mean, the dude pulled guard every time, and I don't know what everyone expected from this fight, and I don't know why it was ever put on the main card. I go back to it again. You're at the bar, you're with your friend. Look, dude, this is the UFC right here. It's the best sport in the world. It's kind of new. It's evolving, and you got to watch this bullshit on the main card. You got to watch this bullshit. So it's kind of like a fight that should never be on the main card. Should have never been made, and Kron Gracie should have gotten cut after the Charles Jourdain fight. Should have gotten cut after that. But now he should be cut for sure. I never want to see this dude in the octagon ever again. But yeah, good win for Bryce Mitchell, I guess. Didn't really show much. We'll see what's next for him. I know Doo Ho Choi called him out. Not really a fight I'd like to see personally, but we'll see. Next up, I told y'all I bet on Ciryl Gane. I know this, I never look at strikes, and that it is bullshit. It's big bullshit, all right? It is, okay? But there is no way. There is no way Ciryl Gane won that fight. And I saw the judges give him the second round. Did they miss the spinning back fist? Okay. Even in that second round, he was losing. Let's look at the numbers there. They were a little bit close, but you look at the damage. Okay, he rocked him and hurt him bad. No way are you giving Ciryl Gane the second round. And I guess I'll have to rewatch it, but in my eyes, it was clear as day. Clear as day that Volkov won 2 and 3. Clear as day, okay? And I go to that Randy Brown battle fight. That was much, much closer than this, okay? And I picked Gane. I bet on Gane. He is a loser. He is a loser, okay? You know, I don't know why he was trying to walk out the octagon. He was saying he wasn't happy about his win. He shouldn't have been damn happy. He lost. And I don't know what to expect from this dude, man. I don't really know, okay? Because he got smoked in that fight. He won the first round. That's it. He didn't win. He did not win that fight, man. No way. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I kind of think it's a good thing because Ciryl Gane will probably fight Tom Aspinall next. And if I'm being honest, man, the way that I saw that Volkov Aspinall fight go, I don't really know if I'd like to see it go again. Okay, because Tom Aspinall was practically toying with Alexandre Volkov, you know, just like messing around with him, just beating him up so bad that he wasn't even really trying. So, you know, maybe Gane can give Aspinall some trouble, and it's possible for sure. I still think Aspinall probably gets him down and beats his ass. Volkov was able to take him down multiple times. But a weird fight, and Gane, you know, he's a loser, man. I don't know what else to say about this guy. I don't like him at all. But it is what it is. He's a quitter. You know, he quit in that third round, just sat there and did nothing. He should have lost that fight. He didn't win that fight. No way in hell he won that fight. Next up, Shavkat Rakhmonov defeats Garry. Bilal smokes him. Bilal smokes him, man. It's simple as that. What the fuck is Shavkat going to do? He going to clinch Bilal? He's going to sit with him at range? It's like laughable because like what is he gonna do? He can't outstrike Bilal, that's for sure. Maybe he could choke him, maybe. But a very unimpressive performance from both guys, honestly. And you know, honestly, I think that I talked about it before, man. That elusive style of Garry would have benefited him so much more in this fight. He was standing there, man, and he wasn't sticking and moving and side to side lateral movement. I don't know why. Okay. And, you know, an eye-opening fight for me personally that I know that Bilal will beat both of these guys easily. And, you know, only guys that give him some trouble in this division are maybe guys like Usman and Maddalena. I mean, would Maddalena not smoke these guys? Am I high? Would he not smoke them, man? You know, maybe, you know, Rakhmonov could take him down. I don't know. Personally, I think Maddalena smokes both of them. I wasn't impressed, man. I put it simple as that. You know, Garry, I did think, you know, the takedown defense was pretty good, but I wasn't impressed, man. I can't lie to you guys. I never lie, man. I was not impressed from this fight by both guys. And I was never impressed that I mean, obviously I got to give credit Rakhmonov and Garry. They were both undefeated, all right? But I was never impressed because Rakhmonov was looked at as the best fighter in this division. Nobody's beating him. And I never thought of him like that. And when you go back and watch the film, it's not that fun to watch, okay? Aside from the Neal fight and the Carlston Harris knockout, bro, you know, you might grab your pillow, man. You don't even need melatonin to go to sleep. The film isn't good, okay? He's just clinching the whole time, and then he finds a submission, right? I think Bilal smokes him, man. I can't unsee it. I think he absolutely smokes Rakhmonov. I think he knocks him out. But yeah, good win, I guess, for Rakhmonov. He'll get smoked, man. Alexandre Pantoja submits Kai Asakura in the second round. I said first round, didn't end up getting it. And Kai, you know, I want to talk about him first. He is dynamic, man. He really is dynamic. And I could see him having success. A lot of highlight reel knockouts in the UFC he'll have. I like his game. You know, fast hips, solid striking. You know, he's a good fighter. I mean, but Pantoja, he's that good, bro. He is that good. And for all these little fucking TikTok boys, little kids saying, oh, Pantoja's so boring, so boring. I mean, was that boring? He's never been boring, okay? He's never been boring. I don't know why people keep saying that. And it frustrates me, man. Oh, it's so annoying. But I've never been the one, you know, to hate on Alexandre Pantoja. I always thought he's a great fighter. And, he showed it, man. If anybody, you know, deserves to move up weight classes, it's him and Makhachev, man. There's nobody else, really, right now. Okay? Him and Makhachev are the only people. I don't even think Topuria can. No, Topuria can't. Him and Makhachev are the only people that ever should make a case at this moment to move up. And I think I think Alexandre Pantoja can do that, guys. I do. To me, flyweight division, what do you have right now? You have Brandon Moreno coming off a win. Pantoja's beat him 3 times. You have Royval coming off 2 wins. Pantoja's beat him twice. What the fuck do you want him to do? Okay? I guess Kai Kara France, Pantoja already beat Kai Kara France, So he's got the best case to move up. Makhachev, there's some fresh blood still there. Not after the Arman fight, but Pantoja's the only fighter that needs to move up, all right? And, I don't know if he'd win versus Umar or Merab, but he damn sure is going to fight as hard as he can, all right? And he's a hell of a fighter. My eyes, the best flyweight of all time. Demetrius Johnson's good. He was great, but he doesn't fight anybody, you know what I mean? I guess I'll put Demetrius Johnson above him. But not for long, man. Pantoja, he is a great fighter, and very happy to see him win. I'm a very big fan of Alexandre Pantoja. I always have been, and I love the fight. I love the way he fights, man. Coming forward all the time, so durable, not afraid of anybody. And man, Kai did impress me with a takedown defense originally. His hips are quick as shit, and he was able to get up a couple times, and Pantoja had to resort to jumping on his back to get that finish. So Kaya Sakura, he's got good defense with the wrestling defense. It just comes to if he can always maintain that, right? And I think he'll have success in this division, but yeah, man. That's going to wrap it up for me. I'll put my Discord in the description of the video if y'all boys want to join up. But yeah, man, let's get it on for next week in UFC Tampa. And I will catch y'all in the next one.